Hey guys, it's Nia, and I'm here on the Swamp Donkey podcast talking all things challenge.
Welcome back to the Zach Nichols podcast. I'm here with everyone's favorite nearsighted gynecologist, the Big Fettuccine.
Yeah, I know my way
But
around.
more importantly, long awaited, one of my favorite challengers, Nia Moore. Give it up.
Give it up.
Thank you guys.
And
Thank
I
you
did-
for having me.
I looked up your middle names.
Multiple?
She's got two.
What? Break it down.
From probably like 1930, the origin of those.
Let me guess. Ethel.
No.
Close. Actually.
Well, kind of close.
Yeah.
It's actually one of my favorite names.
What is it?
One of my favorite people.
Patricia?
Very close. Go ahead. You if you don't want us to tell you,
It's Ebony Pearl.
Ebony Pearl.
Oh. Pearl.
Yeah.
That's great.
One of my favorite human beings is named Pearl in the
Interesting.
world.
Ebony Pearl. Where'd that come from?
My father, he named me after my great aunt.
Okay. Okay. What's up, Pops?
Yeah.
What's up, Pops? And you're a daddy's girl, right?
I am. My dad's my
Okay.
best friend.
Okay. Okay.
Before we start, though, I do want to start out by saying I do not appreciate that you did not have my beverage of choice waiting for me when I got here.
Sweat?
Yeah, yours.
Let's get right.
Wasn't that? I literally
Let's
had.
get right into it. How cute are you with the snort? Oh my gosh! Don't make me fall in love in front of
It
everybody.
probably sounds so bad in this mic.
Don't make
too.
me
Oh my
fall in
God.
love in front of everybody.
I
But
actually didn't
talk
hear
about
it.
it.
Well, so to be honest with you, that was I was in the gym. We were in Panama, so I would sweat walking around at that point. And Nia lost her wallet, and she was like, I don't even know how it got brought up, but you were like, basically, I don't even know if you asked. Like, I was like, do you need money? And you're like, well, yeah, we're going out tonight. I'm like, all right, if you drink this sweat, I'll buy you drinks all night. And you're like, done. And I was like, no, you're no way. And I was able to wring out like a coffee cup
A lot.
full of sweat. And she took it.
It was like a double shot for sure.
Oh, dude, it was like 8 ounces.
It's like
And it was
this.
brown.
Yeah, it was brown. It was from my tank top that I've been working out in.
So gross.
That was washed in Panamanian, probably the ocean. And she downed it.
No,
You puked though.
no. So let me set the record straight. I did not swallow that, surprisingly, because I usually do. But that particular time, I did not swallow it. I put it in my mouth and then I just spit it out.
I didn't even
But
notice.
regardless, it was disgusting.
That's gross.
But I just don't back down from a bet. And I also just wanted to do it for the shock value, and it was hilarious. Like, as you could see, like, even Zach, it was his sweat, and he was gross.
I
as that
gagged.
guy.
I was gonna puke. Yeah,
I'm gonna throw up right now.
it was body temp.
so I didn't.
It was like warm bath water.
I didn't understand the whole thing, and when I first said it, I was like, I wasn't a fan, so I was like Nia, and everyone was like Nia. I was like, okay. So
I had a lot of money on my cash on me that season, so I was like, yeah, you get drinks all night.
So the way he described it was like you didn't have for some reason you didn't have money and you're just a very independent person in general.
Yeah.
And now that I've gotten to know you, I totally understand. You're like, I ain't asking nobody for nothing. I'm gonna earn it. And you're like, yeah, I'll do. I was like, oh man.
I
So-
wouldn't do that again, but it was wild times. 23-year-old me was a lot different than 35-year-old Nia.
Gosh,
But I
that was 13 years ago. 12 years ago. Wow.
Well, maybe in the beverage department, but you have aged like fine wine. What is the
Thank you.
secret
You
to
always
your?
hype me up. I love this guy.
It's very easy. Very easy. We become factual. We'll talk about all that, but yeah. So
I was wondering where we were going to start this one. but-
I am just in awe. I am in awe. And I will drool later. But when is the first time you guys met each other?
Free agents.
Yeah.
Free agent.
Nia was walking around literally sucking her thumb, taller than everybody in the house. And I was like, whoa, what is going on?
And you also made a comment about how I was never in clothes. You're like, this girl is always in her bra and panties.
Literally the whole, like, I would say the only time you put clothes on was for challenges. Other than that, she was walking around the house in her bra and panties sucking her thumb.
That's how I am at anywhere in the world, even on the real world, even at home. I hate clothes.
Yeah, you didn't change for anybody.
No, I did not.
That doesn't sound fun at all to be around. At all.
You missed out, dude.
All right. Well, good news is we do have Instagram, and I can't wait to talk about all your ventures and your personal ventures. But
Yes.
first, we're going to talk about some accolades.
I must say,
Right.
though, I would say of any challenger that posts food, yours is the most delicious looking.
Thank
Like
you.
some of the stuff that you make, I'm like, that will put me. I would eat that and fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like that's
That's the goal.
Yeah.
I mean,
wow.
Yeah, no, for
The
sure.
food.
We're gonna be talking all about that, but let's talk about the accolades. We have 5 challenge seasons. We also have a final. There's some people that are still on the season right now that have never been to a final, but we got Nia going to a final. Round of
True.
applause for the finalists
True.
in the house. We got multiple daily wins, elimination record in the positive, 5-3. Let's go.
Okay.
And then with the original show, Real World Portland, with you got
You came in with a huge bang, and you maintained that for the entire season.
No, these accolades are funny. Is that whole page accolades, or is it just like that?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
This whole thing is accolades. No.
And then the last couple of pages are just like pure, like pretending he's typing, just like a bunch of scribbles.
So yeah, your first boyfriend said no. I'm just just playing. But so
can't.
let's start right away with the real world. Okay, what did you know about the whole experience? Did you want to go on it? Did they find you? Talk about how you got on the real world.
So when I graduated from college, everyone was at graduation saying, "Oh, I'm going to go be a lawyer. I'm going to go to med school. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. What are you going to do?" And I was like, "I don't know. I'm just going to go on the real world." And everyone kind of looked at me and was like, "What?" Like so unserious, right?
Did you watch The Real World?
No, but I knew the concept.
Yeah.
And to me, it was like just an excuse to go somewhere and party and be confined to a space where that is all I was expected to do. I wasn't expected to get a real job. I wasn't expected to get serious. And so I had a full volleyball scholarship. I didn't owe anybody any money. I was fortunate enough to have that.
Debt free. That's the way to go.
Debt free. Yeah. And we've been in school since we were in kindergarten with no breaks. So I'm like, why do I have to immediately choose to like go into adulthood when I can kind of just pause here and like enjoy life?
Absolutely.
And so I was like, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be a cocktail waitress and go in the real world. And the power of the tongue, that is exactly what happened. So I went back to Atlanta. I became a cocktail waitress. Randomly, not even in pursuit of a real world casting, I find out about one at a bar close to where I'm at, and I go, and it just kind of took off from there. I made it to the final, and then they called me like 2 weeks later, and they're like, "Hey, we're going in a different direction." And I was like, and in the time, I was at a fight with my then boyfriend, so I picked up the phone. I'm like, kind of out of breath. I'm like, "Hello," and they're like, "Hey, we want to let you know we love you, but like you're just not a good fit for this season, but we're gonna keep you in mind for something else." I'm like, "Okay, great, thank you, bye." I hang up.
They're probably like, wait a second. That was not the response we expected.
I didn't care. I knew that I was going. They were going to have to figure it out. I know this sounds crazy. I had already decided when I was on campus at graduation that I was going on this show, even if I wasn't gun-ho and meticulous about how I was going to get on it. I was lighthearted in my conviction, but it was still conviction. So I was like, I'm going to go do this, but I didn't care about how I was going to do it. So all those things just naturally happened. So even when they said no, I remember at the end of that argument with my boyfriend that was unrelated, I said, I'm still going. They're going to have to figure out how I get, like, when I'm coming. And 3 weeks later, they called me and they said, do you still want to come? And I'm like, my bags are already packed.
Well, yeah. And then you decided to pretend you were a Southern belle, and everyone was like,
a white woman. I was trying to sound like what I'm not. And so
you sounded the exact opposite. Yeah. And they were like, oh my gosh, she's going to like want to cook with me and bake with me. And then like, it was so funny because when you walked in, they're all like, wait, what?
This like city's looking tall black girl who's not like a country little Southern belle. Like to me, I was like, if I'm going to show up late, let me surprise them all. I don't want to just let them know like what's coming through the door.
Yeah.
And just having fun with it. And so that was just my natural personality, was just to be a prankster. I will say when I arrived, I absolutely thought we were going to have a good time and party, because that's what I had seen from the brief times that I watched The Real World. Yeah. It was not that. These people were not having fun.
No, your season was...
I was like, where's the vibe was just on the floor when I arrived, and it really didn't come up.
You didn't even have, you know what I'm saying? Like, you couldn't even spice it up.
No.
Portland's not like a big party city, is it? Yeah, like I didn't get that like sense that it was a huge party city.
No, and they didn't want us there. So I was told that the city was not supportive of us filming The Real World there. Yeah. And, their whole thing is keep Portland weird. And they were throwing tomatoes through our windows some nights. They wouldn't let us film at 99% of the places we wanted to go.
I got hit with a bottle. Like someone drove by us in San Diego and threw a bottle at me, and it shattered on my leg. A beer bottle. Luckily, I was wearing.
Why do you think people hated on people that went on the real? Jealousy?
Back then, like walking around like a bunch of young kids, we were all like young bro kids with a huge camera crew following them.
The cameras
we were
like
Jersey
this
Shore or
big.
something. They're huge.
Yeah, they're like not
sticks,
yeah.
lighting, everything. So it was disruptive to a lot of people, and people were just hating because
I think
like,
people are
who the hell
jealous.
do they think they are?
Yeah, like why is a camera following them?
Right.
Yeah, I want to ask you, where did you go to college, and like, what was your one thing that I love about you is that you are both at the same time a proud black woman, but also so welcoming and so open arms to everybody you meet. So like, what was your upbringing in terms of like culturally? Like, were you around a multi cultural area or mostly black? Like, tell me about that. How'd you grow up? That concludes the free preview of the Zach Nichols podcast.
So go to Patreon and subscribe to see the rest of the shit that we talk.
Go do it now.